Hello. Clark Nash, Clark on comms. And I just want to take a quick moment to, introduce myself so that, we can have a little bit of rapport. Um, Now, I'm going to do my best to make this video as quick and short as possible, but yet have some depth and breadth. If things go how I want them to, there will be many more videos, and you'll kind of get a chance to know me a little better, and we'll get, ideally, through certain avenues and venues, we'll be able to get to know each other, ideally. But I think in order to get a feel for a person, you can't necessarily, you can't sum that all up in a quick little video, no matter how long the video is, right? And you can't obituary, epitaph, you can't sum up someone's life and who they are and the essence of their being with few words, few frames here, right? Few minutes. But I'll do my best, and I think it makes sense to start from where I started, right? So my parents, when they had me, they were old enough to be my grandparents, right? As opposed to having some people have their kids in high school, right? So my parents were old enough to be my grandparents, so that's one layer of my dad. He grew up when ninjas were still being hung from trees, and that made him think a certain way. He embedded that in me about how you can't necessarily trust people who say that you can trust them, and that kind of plays into the future a little. We'll get there, but I guess, long story short, I had a pretty decent childhood, right? Like, I had a pretty decent childhood before it wasn't decent, and my dad used to drum in church, so believed in God. We're middle class, so there was no, you know what I mean? Like pretty much everything that I needed, I had. And of course, some of the things that I wanted, I didn't get because middle. But for the most part, I had everything that I needed. Oh yeah, it's New Year's, so people are popping off. Hopefully they're just popping off fireworks and not popping off. But what I'm trying to say is, I'll give you an example, right? So my dad, he had a slip disc from something, and we would kind of often have the ambulance come through our house because he would have epileptic seizures, grand mal epileptic seizures. And so I always had this empathy and this kind of anchoring of worrisome energy when it came to ambulances, right? And because my dad, could appreciate the ambulance coming through and helping him out and helping us out, when we would see ambulances passing, sirens on, right? As a family, growing up, I remember we would pray, send positive energy towards the ambulance, because you never know what's going on, right? Like, somebody could be dying, right? Somebody could be dead. They just don't know it yet. But that kind of empathy, right, is what I was raised with. Be kind, be good, be a good person, right? And I laugh because you'll see in a bit. But when my dad got his brain tumor came back. He had a brain tumor. They took it out little while after I was born, and then it came back. So he had this brain tumor that was the size of a large grapefruit. They pretty much, archaic brain surgery back in the 1990s. They pretty much just put a weed whacker in his head and just So anyway, he walked into the hospital, and then they wheeled him out. We wheeled him out, and I lost two parents from that surgery, because my mom was no longer the same kind of carefree mom. She had to focus on work, and she had to focus on keeping a roof over her head. And I've literally never seen a human being work harder in my life than my mom. And it was a painful time after that, because my dad, who was an athletic person, a coach, he was literally relegated to a bed, pissing on himself and defecating on himself. He's 6'3". At one point, he was 350 pounds. My mom's 4'11" and 140 pounds, something like that. And oftentimes my dad would ask me to kill him, because an athlete stuck in that state, that got to be difficult. But I digress. So this is kind of certain, and I'm not trying to. Oh, so sad. It's life. Everybody has their stuff, right? I'm not. I'm just sharing. I'm sure you have enough things that we could all cry about. I'm sure if we were to talk, there are some things that you tell me that bring me to tears. I'm an empath. I feel people's pain, which is a good thing and a horrible thing at the same time. But I'm sure But point is, there's some of the things that kind of shaped me as a kid because I believed in God. And then I thought that good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. That's just kind of how a little kind of immature mind works. And when you don't understand the intricacies of the divinity, right, and our relationship with Yahweh, and well, I hated him for a very long time because we literally couldn't go anywhere without somebody being like, oh, your parents are so awesome, they helped me this, they helped me that, and like getting brainwashed, programmed with that as a kid, and then having this tragedy happen, and it literally taking both my parents and seeing my dad and mother struggle, and my dad begging me to kill him all the time, and my heart, again, empath, right? So like I felt it deeply. I still feel it, but my heart went really cold, and I hated God. I hated people. I turned kind of evil, honestly. Which I regret to an extent, but I don't because it taught me things. But I just wanted to hurt people, and I did. Mostly myself, but I hurt people. A lot of people. And because my parents were pretty smart, they taught me some things, and I was pretty smart. I didn't really get in trouble. I mean, I got in trouble, but for the things I've done, I didn't get in trouble. But things have a way of coming back, and I got mine. I'm getting mine, or I got mine. Like, females. Anyway, point is, for about 20 years of my life, I engaged in self-unaliving tendencies where I just really didn't care about life, and I just wanted to kind of end it, but I was too afraid to just, and I'm not even really too afraid, but it was just, to me, it's too wasteful. Why just go plow into, you know what I mean? Like slit your throat, do like slit your wrist, jump off a building. Why do these things when it's just wasteful? If you're already like, whatever, I don't care if I live, why don't you go do crazy stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, go do crazy stuff and see what happens. Like if you're already comfortable with ending it, why not go just try things? So about 20 years of my life, I just did all kinds of crazy stuff, and I did some math, and just counting the speeding out, like going out to destination and then speeding back home, 20 years is like 14,600 exposures to self-unaliving behavior instances, right? And I'm not counting all the drugs, right? Like heroic doses, heroic mixtures, right? All the alcohol, the drunk driving, all the driving while under the influence, all the criminal behavior, all the playing with fate and dangerous things and dangerous people, and just not caring. And I don't know if you're familiar, but there's like this story, Daniel in the Lion's Den, right? My name's not Daniel, but it might as well be. Like, I really do believe that Yahweh took care of me because I lost a lot of friends that weren't as stupid as I was. And I do have survivor's guilt, which is what brings us here. I've learned a lot of things, and I believe that these things can help you. Now, I'm not coming, and this channel's not going to be me acting like I know better than you, because I don't. But I'm just going to share things that, in my experience, will guarantee screw up your life, and guarantee make you experience pain and suffering and torment and frustration and chaos and confusion and loneliness and hopelessness and helplessness and powerlessness. because I've experienced it. Also, I'm going to share things that I believe can give you power. The power to positively impact your own life and the life of those around you that you care about, and even those that you don't care about. Because really, do you need to care for somebody to care for somebody? Like, a good person cares. You know what I mean? But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I've studied a lot of crazy things. Like, lots of crazy things. I've done a lot of crazy things. And I really do believe that whatever you believe is the animating force or the divine, omniscient, omnipotent energy, whatever that is to you, I think that spared my life, so maybe I can help you spare some pain. And in that way, all the dumb things and painful and negative things that I've done and experienced, in some way can transmute and turn to positive. And I hope that that's possible. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for your time.